Welcome to the Man Games. This is another episode of Fun with Figures. Today it's a bit of a different episode today, actually, because we're looking at 10 wrestling figures, Do you know who they are? Who are these wrestlers? So obviously, a lot of parents will go to not necessarily shops, but like flea markets and car boots, maybe buy their children wrestlers, but wrestling figures, but they don't know who they are. So today, we've been looking at 10 figures, and then you can see whether you did know who they were. If you weren't sure, now you do know. So we're going to start off today with Ezekiel Jackson. So this figure came with a Brian Kendrick in a double pack, the Adrenaline line, I think. You can obviously see the tattoo there on the arm. The only thing that's probably missing is he used to wear like a jacket, like a kind of jacket to the ring, a white one, so that is missing. I don't think they ever made a figure with that accessory with it there, but it is a good figure. Unfortunately, with the white pants, there's a lot of marks on the figure. Unless people don't know, Ezekiel Jackson was the last ECW champion. He also had a run with the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think it was that long, maybe for 50 days or so, but yeah, he is actually a former Intercontinental Champion. So yeah, if you didn't know, this is Ezekiel Jackson. Next up today we have, can you guess who it is? It is Yoshi Tatsu. Now he was in ECW. The Rebirth ECW, should we say. He started off there. I believe he came in around the same time as Sheamus. I really liked him when he first came in, but they seemed to not have a good direction of where they wanted to take the character. I think later on he did start wearing face paint. Maybe he painted half his face, I think. But I think that was more on either like Superstars or Main Event. Not a show that I've watched in a long time, to be honest, unless I've been there in the crowd, and obviously I've watched it because I've paid money to watch wrestling. So yeah, good figure in good condition. Maybe it's hardly been played with because obviously he's hardly been on wrestling. I believe he got injured in Japan wrestling AJ Styles. He took a Styles clash the wrong way. I don't think I think he tucked his chin when you're meant to lean your head backwards. So yeah, hopefully he's doing better now. So that is Yoshi Tatsu. Next up we have a Matt Striker figure. I think this figure might have come with a briefcase. I'm not sure if this is meant to be based on him as an announcer or if he's the manager of Big Daddy V or Mark Henry, I believe he was at the time, in ECW, the Rebirth ECW. There is some paintwork missing there on the head of the figure. But good figure. It's one of the figures that's actually managed to survive the tie. It still has its tie intact. It has not been ripped off. So yeah, that's the back of the figure in good condition. So that is Matt Striker. Next up today, now this isn't actually a WWE figure or TNA figure, WCW figure. Let's say it, ECW figure either. It is actually a Gladiator figure. It is from the UK series of Gladiator. So this is actually a Magnus figure, Brutus Magnus, or Nick Aldis as he is now called, the husband of Mickie James. He was known as Oblivion in the UK Gladiators. He was a heel in that. So yeah, so obviously this isn't actually a wrestling figure, but it's still, you can still pretend it was, I suppose. It's still a figure, isn't it? You could still be walking around with that NWA Championship. It's a bit hard to move the top of the arms. One thing I don't like about the figure is he has very pink lips, like he is wearing some kind of lipstick. Maybe Mickie James has had a go on him before the figure was made, obviously. Just joking. So that is Magnus or Nick Aldis. Speaking of the UK Gladiators, the next up is Mason Ryan. Now he was also in the UK Gladiators series as Goliath. he debuted on Raw as part of CM Punk's Nexus. I thought he was going to maybe be a big deal, as he has kind of a look of Batista. I thought they could have built him similar to Batista and he could have been a big deal. But as you can see, there's a bit of marks there on the forehead and chest. So yeah, bit disappointing for Mason Ryan. He could have been a big star, but yeah, who knows why? What went wrong? If people have any, if they know more details about Mason Ryan, please leave it in the comments. Let us know. You might know stuff that we here don't. So yeah, that is Mason Ryan. What could have been? Next up today we have a Mike Knox figure. Now I've done a little research and I can't actually find a figure of Mike Knox like this. There is similar figures out there but with different trunks on. So yeah, I'm not sure what range it came in, or if it was a bit like the WCW Slam and Smash figures, that some attires are different when they release the figure. Personally, it should have come with a Kelly figure, as they were a duo at the time in ECW. They could have had them as a double pack. Definitely, I've not personally seen them together in a figure series, but that would have been a good idea. I'm sure they would have sold more with Kelly than just Mike Knox. So yeah, that's Mike Knox. A few marks on the back there, but I mean, yeah, not really a lot to say about Mike Knox, I'm afraid. He did have a run in TNA. I think he was in Aces and Eights at one point, and then he had kind of like a circus gimmick, I think. But yeah, not really sure where he is these days. But hopefully he's still going strong. Next up we have, that's right, you guessed it, is Ted DiBiase Jr. This is, I think it was like the first in line Ted DiBiase figure that they did. Now they did bring out this figure separately, I think in a Ruthless Aggression line, and also the same figure was in a Adrenaline line pack with his father, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. That figure was in his green suit. Yeah, it's a good figure. It's got a bit of hair, well, not hair, the paint on the hair is missing. A few marks on the chest. If you turn it around, you can see priceless there on the trunks. So yeah, that is Ted DiBiase. So next up we have, now if you don't know who this is, you might think he's called Russ because it says Russ on his wrist tape. He's actually Charlie Haas. I believe his brother was getting into wrestling with him and unfortunately he passed away. Not really sure how, but yeah, so I think that is Charlie Haas's way of honouring his brother. I really like Charlie Haas. I thought they could have done more with him than they did. Obviously Shelton Benjamin went off and did better things for a little while. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas were a tag team called the World's Greatest Tag Team. They were also in Team Angle. So yeah, that's Charlie Haas. In good condition, not a lot of marks on. So yeah, Charlie Haas. Next up today, we have Festus. Now you might know him as Luke Gallows or Doc, or even Doc Gallows. This is when he was with Jesse. They were a tag team. This was in the Adrenaline line. I do believe that they brought this out separately as well, like this. I believe it came with a steel chair and dustbin. Unfortunately, this figure has lost an arm. Or hand, sorry. It's lost their hand, if you can see there. Tattoo there, when he just had the one big tattoo. Now it's more of a sleeve. So yeah, that's Festus. Another wrestler that I thought WWE could have done more with. I thought maybe, now you see Otis now. I think Festus could have had a similar run like that. So hopefully you know, they do the right thing with Otis and don't drop the ball like they did with Festus. Next up we have Vladimir Kozlov. So he was a Russian wrestler. He started off being in the crowd where an announcer would go up to him and ask him questions, and he would just say that he loved double E. Yeah, that got over. Yeah, good figure, in good condition. A few marks there on the head. He later became a tag team with Santino Marella. Probably some of the better work he did in the WWE. I believe they were tag team champions for a little while. So yeah, other than that, not really a lot to say about Vladimir Kozlov. He did have a program with Triple H for the WWE Championship, which obviously he was unsuccessful in. So yeah, maybe another person that WWE dropped the ball with. I suppose in this episode, if you don't know who they are, it's probably going to be a few people who WWE dropped the ball with. And lastly today, it is Nikki now. If people think this is familiar, it is because now he is known as Dolph Ziggler. This figure came with 2 sets of pom-poms. He was, it was a cheerleading gimmick along with Kenny, Johnny, Mitch, and Mikey. Male cheerleaders. This figure is, it's alright. There's a bit of paintwork there on the neck where the green's gone over there, but it is in good condition. So yeah, that is the last figure we're going to look at today of the who are these figures. If you did know them all, well done. Hopefully there were some you didn't know, so that was the whole point of you watching the video. So yeah, please like the video, subscribe, let us know what you thought. We always like to know people's feedback. We really want to get the channel better, so you guys let us know. That would be great, but also at the same time be friendly in the comments. Also go out there and check the 2K20 videos, and there is an unboxing of Wrestle Crate, which is also a good video to watch. Obviously there is a few different things in the box. There's t-shirts, signed pictures, DVDs, so yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. So that is all from the Man Games today.